Hello, I'm Magnus, and in this video I want to show you how to adjust the truss rod on a mandolin. And the truss rod, that is the metal rod going inside the neck, so making sure it doesn't bend too much basically. And you find it under this little plastic piece right here. That's the most common place to adjust the truss rod. Some, depending on the mandolin, it might also be on this end of the instrument. If you have an oval hole, like if it could even be inside there. This is the most typical one. And what we're gonna need to adjust the truss rod today is this truss rod tool, a little screwdriver, and I also have a few things to measure the relief, as we call it here, like a filer gauges and even a capo. And basically the truss rod is keeping a little like the curvation of the neck in a good place. So while the strings are pulling the top of the neck right in this direction, the truss rod is making it keeping it, what is it, the tension towards the other direction. And there is of course like different kind of adjustments and settings here, but a general rule of thumb, you don't want the neck to be totally straight. You want a little bit of curvation on it, not much but a little bit. And this mandolin has a little bit too much curvation, and how to check it is like this. If I'm pressing the first fret and pressing the last fret on the fretboard like this, if you're pressing down there, you don't see this, but I can see that there's and I can feel that there's, if I press here around the 7th and 8th fret, or between 7th and 12th basically, I can see that there's a gap there. And the gap is a little bit too much to me. And how do I know? Well, luckily I have two instruments and I can compare the two of them. And the other one, the neck is a little bit straighter and I like it better. So what I'm gonna do now is tighten the truss rod to pull the neck a little bit back, sort of, making it a little more straight. So first thing you do is to remove this plastic. I have actually two cameras set up, I can see. This is the plastic piece covering this. I took it away so you can see that there's a nut in there. And when, like, now that I'm gonna tighten the truss rod, I wanna like release all the tension of the strings. So that's what I'm gonna do first, using a little string winder like this. Take it. And I'm by no means a luthier or anything, but I think like simple setup things and adjustments like this is something I can do myself, and I might even encourage you to try it out. But if you're not feeling like comfortable, go check out a good luthier for it. So I don't have to remove the strings, but you can see I took the tension away so I can more easily make the adjustment. And make sure, one important thing, you have a tool that is, well, the right fit for your nut and or bolt up here. And I have a few different like truss rod tools, but for this mandolin actually I'm going to use a standard, I'm not sure what to call it in English even, but this thing that's keeping it. One good thing, if you have a small marker, make sure you put a little mark so you can see where you actually the original placement of the truss rod adjustment is. Gonna go get my little fine marker. Got the marker here, making it so that I know where I'm starting, sort of. So basically a fine line now showing where the nut is facing me. And small movements can make a big change, so it's about turning maybe up to a quarter of an, maybe even an eighth of a lap at a time. So we're gonna see how it reacts. I've tightened it. So what I'm doing next is I'm like tuning up the instrument again to see how it's, because it's like an interplay between the strings and the truss rod, right? So to measure it, we gotta put the string back to in tension again, using a tuner to get it right. And also you can see that I don't have like a proper luthier bench or anything like that. So, well, a good thing is to use a soft cloth blanket or something so that you're not scratching or hurting it. And it's important while using like sharp and hard tools around the instrument to be a bit careful with this. Because of this string and truss rod relationship, it's important to get it up to the right pitch. It doesn't have to be perfectly in tune, fine-tuned, but you will. Yes, it's responding to the adjustment. Still, I feel I want it a little bit straighter, doing the same thing once more. Tuning down the strings and tightening the truss rod, tuning it up again. Yes, as I said, it's responding to the adjustment, and it's now even tighter. And you might wonder what is a correct kind of, we call it relief, the distance here. And I would say I want it as low as, what would it be? I'm talking out millimeter. So 0.05 millimeters. So it's like a 1/20th of a millimeter. And you can actually use some measuring tool here, and I'm going to show you how I'm measuring this. So just to, if you have two hands, you're going to press there, press here. This you don't have any hand over. So what I'm doing, I like putting a capo here on the first fret. Then I have these filer gauges. And I'm just pulling out here, for this case, this is the 0.05 millimeters, and I can see what the distance is, and I can now press with one hand and try to see if I can measure the distance here. It's wider. I'm gonna see if I can put a number to it. Taking this one, the 0.1 millimeter. Yeah, it's around that range. You can even see and feel that there is a relief here. I want it slightly straighter. I'm gonna repeat the same process again. And it's still, I can tell it's flatter, so while I'm going there and maybe doing one more, and then I will see how close I am, but then maybe leave it there until I have played it for a while to see if I want it more or not. But yes, stay with me, doing it one more round. I can now actually feel that it's a bit tighter. I don't want to push it longer than that. So, tuning it up again. Also, when going here back and forth with the strings up and down, it's easy to break a string, and of course an E string popped here, so I'm gonna replace it. Yes, feeling really good now. So now, just to summarize, we have straightened the neck, making it the fingerboard and the neck straighten. So the relief is, there's a less relief. The distance between the fret and the string when you press this down. So and for me, it makes the playability a little bit better. And I think there's probably many ways to do this. I'm just showing how I'm doing it, and I'm now also gonna adjust the string height and the action here. And I think it's a good thing still to first check if you need to make a truss rod adjustment before adjusting the bridge, for example. But that's in the next video. Hope this was helpful to anyone, and if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, maybe it's good to know what a luthier is doing while setting up your mandolin. As always, hit the thumbs up if you liked the video, and I would also be happy if you would like to leave a comment below letting us know what you think about the neck relief and truss rod adjustments. Have you any experience with this? Put it below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in a new video soon.